What's going on, everybody? Tim here with a game I'm making, and I thought I'd share it with you. It's called Crashtag. Now, in Crashtag, it's a tabletop demolition derby game, and you use whatever you can as your arena or your track or area, and you place walls down and make a good area for yourself and other players. It's from 2 to 8 players, and players basically go around the table and crash into each other. And there are a few mechanics of it that I'm going to explain here. It's in its print and play stage right now, and things are being tested from certain things are being tested in the game. So let's take a look at a generic board. So here you've got the generic board, and on this board is where players would play. But to play, they need this dashboard. Now, this dashboard has a few things on it. First, you're going to notice the car. Then you're going to notice the transmission up here. And the transmission has those numbers that are color coordinated. And it allows you to basically pick first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, or reverse. Now, you can shift in any sequence you choose. It doesn't have to be 1, 2, 3, 4 or anything. You can go from 1 to 4, whatever you want. But the way that they work is that is a modifier for the dice. So if you hit another car and you're in one of those gears, then they have to roll that many dice. However, there are colors on those gears. And the reason for the colors on the gears is because within a certain amount of your health, you can only use certain gears. So, speaking of the actual health, we'll take a look at the speedometer. Now, your speedometer is your health bar, and it's right here. And underneath your speedometer is a numerical wheel, and that wheel looks something like this. And on it, you'll notice the 60, 45, 30, and 15 have the colors. So you've got green, yellow, orange, and red. So let's go ahead and put that speedometer under here. Now, if you notice, we go from 60 to 45. Now, what that means is from 60 down to 45, you can essentially use all gears. From 45 down to 30, we can use from 3, 1, 2, and 3, the yellow, and reverse, of course. Now, if you go from 30 down to 15, you'll be able to use 1, 2 in reverse. And from 15 and below, you can only use 1 in reverse. So you have to choose wisely and use them while you can. However, you will cause damage to yourself because, you're crashing cars into each other. So you got to watch that one too. So it's a little strategy. It's more aggressive and luck driven than anything, but it's still a fun game. So now let's take a look here at the tag boxes. Okay, the tag boxes are what you're going to hit on each car. And you'll notice that the 4 around the tires have -1. If a car hits you in one of those and actually rolls it and makes you roll a 6, you've been tagged. And you put a marker on each one of them boxes that had been tagged. In the -1, it lowers your driver's skill. And your driver's skill is what's going to allow you to play the different cards that have numbers on them. So every player starts with a driver's skill of 3, but it can go down to 1 and will never go over 8. So the way that those work is pretty much, it's like you have your cards and you can play only up to that number. It's really simple. It's kind of hard to describe, but simple. So here's your driver skill area, though. Okay, and as I said, it goes from 1 to 8. Now, if we go ahead and shrink this dashboard and the health counter, we're going to get it down into the bottom corner here, and let's just take a quick demo of what you would do with cars and cards. So we'll get this out of the way, and we're going to look at some of the cards now. So first thing you notice, there's a 1, and then we also have a 2, and we have a 3, and lastly, I'm pretty sure you see where this is going, a 4. Now what those numbers mean is how far you can, or how many of them you can actually play. So if you have a driver skill of 3, you can do a 2 and a 1, 3 ones, or a 3. That would allow you to play that many cards of that type, because the numbers on them have to equal up to your driver skill, but they don't have to max it out. If you want to play a 2 and your skill is 3, you can. So let's get a car on here, and we're also going to bring this car on here. And let's go ahead and look at how these cards may affect what you're going to do. Now, when you're hitting another car, as I said before, the transmission, the number that you're in, will determine how many dice they roll. Now on a 2, you roll 1 die too. You have 2 for damage, but they roll 2. On a 1, you both roll 1. On a 3, they roll 3 and you roll 2. On a 4, they roll 4 and you roll 3. And on reverse, you both roll 1, but the attacking car, the one who caused the hit, divides it down in half, lowest to 1. So as you see here, we got 1 card. Now if we take this car and we run it down through that way, that card was a number 2. Okay, so we were at a skill level of 3, that was fine. We're on 1. So let's say we move over to 3 and we hit that car. Well, then he would roll 3 dice and you would roll 2 dice and take damage accordingly. Remember, if a 6 is rolled, that causes a tag on either front end. So let's get this car back here, and we're going to switch these up into another combination that still equals 3 or less. So we'll go ahead and move these cards like this. So let's say you didn't want to be aggressive, but you want to run away. So your car would then follow the tracks just like that. So now you've moved further away from him. Be careful about hitting walls though. If you hit a wall, it's like attacking a car and you have to roll for damage. Now, from that point there, we want to go in reverse for your next move, because your next move you would hit the wall. So let's move these cards out of the way, and let's look at a 4. So let's just assume we had a 4 for a driver's skill. Okay, so that would be this card, and if we move on it, the car would follow this movement. So it'd be a nice whip around, a 180 more or less from reverse. But that's pretty much it. I know this probably hasn't been too informative and it's kind of been all over the place, but that's how simple the game is. I will put a video of us testing it, and show a playthrough of it one time. But until then, thank you for watching, and remember to, just kind of check it out. Let me know what you think. And hashtag Crashtag.